Hi everybody, Brian Seymour, Director of Instructional Technology for Pickerington Local School District. Today I've got some exciting news to share with you. We're launching a brand new instructional tool for all of our teachers and for all of our students to help us expand learning, make learning a 24/7 opportunity, and getting our kids to learn how to read a little bit better with online tools. Getting them to read a little bit more on screens and do research just a little bit better than what we've done in the past. So today on this episode of Seymour Educate Podcasts, we are going to talk about the brand new tool called the Cengage Digital Library. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 7th through 12th resources, 7th through 12th grade resources that we're dealing with our new digital library. So we're moving towards more of a reading on screens, more of a digital research through content that's been fully vetted by content experts. So it's a little bit better than doing some research through Wikipedia or some of the things that you can or can't trust online. So I'm going to walk you through how to get there and how to look at some of the different resources that we have. So if you go to our main school's webpage, you go under Academics and you pull down to Technology in the Classroom. And you'll get to our technology page, so some overview, goals, links, and the first thing that you get to will be the Gale Digital Library. So if you click on the Gale Digital Library, this will bring you up to our home page for our digital library. So as you can see, we have all the school buildings listed here, so we're going to deal with the high school and the junior high today. So for all of these, grades 7 through 12, they're the exact same resources. Okay, so we're going to click on Central. And as we click on Central, you'll see the 5 different resources that you have. You have the Gale Directory Library, you have the Research Library, you have Science in Context, U.S. History in Context, and World History in Context. This first one right here, I don't really know. It's not anything significant, so we won't talk much about that. If you want to click on it and see what it is, by all means, go for it. This one here now gives you access to all of the different eBooks. So if we click on this and we enter in our password, which we've sent in an email, so I don't want all of YouTube to know what our password is. So when we get to this, these are all of the eBooks that we currently own. And our goal is if everything works well on this, we're going to continue and give out more and more and more of these as we go through. So you can see we have some arts, we have some biographies, business, education, environment, general reference, history, law, literature, medicine, multicultural studies, nation and world, religion, science, social studies, technology. And all in all, I believe we have somewhere around 1,000, around 500-ish books on here. So any of these that you would want to see or any of these that you would want to click on, so let's say we do the college one, you're then brought up to the table of contents, and when you bring up the table of contents, you now get the page with the book and all of the different parts to it. So one of the cool things that you can do, let's go back and pick a different book here. Let's go down and pick, let's find a science one since I'm a former science person. So black holes, there we go. All right, so if we go here and we go down to Facing the Ultimate Unknowable, and one of the things that this will do is, so there's our article and pictures that were from the article. This will also read the text to the kids. So click here, it'll actually render it and ready to go.
Introduction: Facing the Ultimate Unknowable. The concept of black holes consistently grips the human imagination.
All right, and as you can see, this will actually highlight the sentence or the phrase, and it'll actually highlight in a different color what the word they're actually reading. So those kids that may be struggling with reading a little bit, or maybe they just need to hear it as they're reading through it, they now have that option to do that. You can go in here into the gears, and you can change the highlighting text. You can change the reading speed, so if it's reading too fast or too slow, you can change all of those. The other thing that I really, really like about this is that you can translate these articles into multiple different languages. So if you've got kids that are ESL, or maybe feel more confident in their native language, here you go. You have all of those different languages, and Spanish is the one that translates quickest. So if we translate this, give it a second, it'll translate the entire article into Spanish. Some of the articles will even have the read to portion of it, and you can actually do the read to in their foreign language. That's only for some of the articles, not all of them, but some will. So now we've translated completely into Spanish. And I can't speak Spanish anymore, so I don't know if that's right or not. So if you want to go back to English, you can go back to English. Okay? Now, if I'm a teacher and I want all of my kids to read this Facing the Ultimate Unknowable, I'm going to go up here to where it says bookmark, and I'm going to get this really long bookmark, and I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to copy this. And this is what I'm going to give to my kids. Now, obviously, you don't want them typing all of that in, because that's a really, really, really big URL for them to write into. So now this is where you have to get digital somehow. So is it a shared Google Doc? Is it on your website? Is it through Google Classroom? Is it through Edmodo? Whatever form it is that you're giving digital material out, you'll have to share this URL with them. Now, the nice thing about doing it this way, where you clicked on the bookmark link, is that Gale has created, the company we purchased this from, has created this link. They have promised us that these links will not be broken ever. So if you've ever gotten to a page where you've used a URL and all of a sudden it's not there, that won't happen. So you want to make sure that you use the bookmark tool and don't just copy this, because this was created by Google or by some networking company. This will break. This will not break. Okay? So if we go back now to our main page, so that's the eBooks. You can also get to eBooks just by clicking on the little tab up here at the top, and it'll bring you into all of the eBooks that we have for the entire school district, and there's a whole bunch of them. Okay. So take some time to look through those. If we go back to resources, the three other resources that we have act exactly the same way. So we've got science in context, we've got U.S. history in context, and we've got world history in context. So for science in context, you'll bring this up. You'll enter in our password, which, like I said, is in the email that I just sent out. And there you go. There's science in context. So science in context actually breaks things down by different groups: biographies, biology, chemistry, earth science, general science, health and medicine, math, engineering and technology, and physics and astronomy. So even if you're a math teacher, there's still going to be a lot of information that's going to be found on here. And really, I encourage those of you that are English teachers to use these resources. We need to have that cross-collaboration of different subject areas for different content materials. So once again, if you want to click on any of these things, so here's our volcanoes one that we were dealing with before. We'll just keep that trend I did on the elementary one. So now here's everything that you've got on volcanoes. So you can see 3 featured contexts, 54 reference materials, 1 experiment, 30 images, 54 audios, news, 527, 17 videos, 494 academic journals, 598 magazine articles, 15 websites, and a partridge and a pear tree. No. So here's a lot of different things that you can find on volcanoes. So I encourage you to, once again, use what it is that you can. Use what is relevant to your classroom. Use what is relevant to your kids. Okay. The other nice thing is you've got curriculum standards up here. So if you click on curriculum standards, click on United States, click on state standards, click on Ohio, and then here's your standards. So if you're a high school teacher, you can click on here. If you want to do chemistry stuff, here's this, and it'll actually give you everything that's in there. So here's atomic structure. So if you click on atomic structure, it will then pull every resource that it has on atomic structure. So now it's all in one page, and you've got all of these resources, all of these articles. You've got images. Sometimes you have experiments that can go along with these. So lots and lots of different pieces and parts that are here. So in addition to that, the other ones work exactly the same way. So U.S. history. We put the password in here. Camera shaking a little bit. So, U.S. history, same thing. So broken down into all the different categories. You've got your search, you've got your bookmark, you've got your curriculum standards. So search for what you can use. Search for what's relevant to your curriculum and what you can find. And the exact same thing then also works for those of you with world history events. Okay? Training materials and guides are over here, so please feel free to use those if you want a little bit more research. Power Search is also up front here. This will search everything that we own from Gale. So this will cross-reference and cross-search every single thing that's in here. So I hope you found this beneficial. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe over here to my YouTube channel, so that way you can find out when all these videos get released. And once again, thank you very much for taking the time. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch these. And like I've always said, go forth and be innovative.